Susulan laporan Malaysia Antara Negara mencatatkan kadar ketagihan internet yang tinggi dalam kalangan murid dan pelajar sekolah. Buletin TV9 turut mendapatkan pakar psikiatri yang mendedahkan kesan ketagihan internet dapat dikenal pasti.
Every day, millions of young people reach for their phones just to check one notification. But what starts as a few seconds often turns into minutes and eventually hours. This habit is known as doomscrolling. According to researchers, doomscrolling is a repeated and excessive habit of continuously scrolling through negative or distressing news on social media or online platforms. Even when it causes stress, anxiety, or emotional exhaustion. Today, with unlimited access to social media, many students unknowingly spend hours consuming upsetting news, tragic events, and negative content. Although they know it affects their emotions, they often find it difficult to stop. This silent habit has become increasingly common among young people, raising concerns about its impact on mental health, emotional well-being, and daily life. In this documentary, we will explore how doomscrolling affects young minds, why so many people struggle to break this habit, and what Islam teaches us about protecting our mental and spiritual well-being in the digital age. Doomscrolling has become a global digital behavior among young people. With 24/7 access to social media, they are constantly exposed to negative news such as wars, crimes, disasters, and social conflicts. Although many feel stressed or anxious, they still continue scrolling in search of updates or answers. For students, this habit often happens in daily routines, after waking up, during breaks, before sleep, and even late at midnight. Without realizing it, hours are spent online instead of resting or focusing on studies and real-life interactions. Over time, this affects concentration, sleep quality, emotional well-being, and productivity, making the world feel more negative than it really is. This raises an important question. Why do we keep scrolling even when it harms us? Doomscrolling happens because of natural curiosity, fear of missing out, and how social media algorithms are designed to keep users constantly engaged with endless content. At the same time, the brain is naturally drawn to negative news due to negativity bias, making it harder to stop scrolling. Over time, this turns into an automatic habit that is difficult to control. While it may start as quick search for information, it often leads to excessive screen time that affects mood, increased stress and anxiety, and reduced focus and productivity in daily life. From an Islamic perspective, doomscrolling reminds us of the importance of protecting both our mind and heart. Islam encourages Muslims to seek beneficial knowledge and avoid anything that brings harm, stress, or unnecessary anxiety. The Quran in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 6, teaches us to verify information before believing or sharing it, especially in today's digital world where false news spreads easily. Islam also emphasizes moderation in life. Excessive scrolling can distract us from our responsibilities, studies, family, and acts of worship, affecting both emotional and spiritual well-being. The Prophet Muhammad also reminded us that a person's Islam is improved by living what does not benefit them. Therefore, Islam guides us to stay informed with wisdom, maintain balance, and use technology responsibly.
In Islam, one of the main solutions to doomscrolling is practicing moderation or wasatiyah in everything we do, including how we use social media. Muslims are encouraged to manage their time wisely and avoid activities that bring no benefit. These include limiting unnecessary scrolling and replacing it with more meaningful actions such as reading the Quran, performing prayers, or engaging in beneficial knowledge. Another important practice is muhasabah or self-reflection. We should ask ourselves whether the content we are consuming is good for our heart, mind and faith. By being mindful of what we watch and setting boundaries in our digital usage, we can protect both our mental and spiritual well-being. From a psychological point of view, doomscrolling happens because of how the brain reacts to information. Our brain is naturally drawn to negative news due to something called negativity bias. This means we tend to focus more on bad information because we see it as important for survival. Social media also use dopamine feedback loops. Every time we scroll and find new information, our brain gets a small reward, which makes us want to keep scrolling again and again. Over time, this creates a habit feels automatic and difficult to stop even when we know it affects our mental and mood health. Based on our interview, doom scrolling is a common habit among both male and female students in their daily lives. The male student tends to scroll during free time when bored, which sometimes affects his focus on his study. He tried to manage this by limiting screen time and doing other activities like sports. Furthermore, the female student usually scrolls before sleep, which can cause anxiety and affect her sleep quality. She tried to overcome this by reducing phone usage at night and resting earlier. Overall, both students are aware of its negative effects and are gradually trying to control this habit through small lifestyle changes and self-discipline. In conclusion, doom scrolling is a growing habit among youth that can lead to stress and emotional exhaustion if not controlled. From an Islamic perspective, it highlights the importance of balance, self-discipline, and using technology wisely while protecting our mental and spiritual well-being. According to Imam Al-Ghazali, time is the most valuable thing a person can spend, reminding us to use it wisely and avoid wasting it on things that do not benefit us. Also, in today's digital world, protecting your mental well-being sometimes means knowing when to stop scrolling and disconnect. Ultimately, it is not about avoiding technology, but using it wisely with awareness and responsibility.